Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Ball Knowledge Unscripted. I'm one of the hosts, Jason. That's my main man, Kareem. We're back to bring you more insight and maybe start a little conversation.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
What's happening, brother?
Hey, man, I can't complain, man. Another day, I can't complain at all.
Yeah, it's been good. I think it's you know, the roller coaster of the season. So we're kind of in the, if there is such a thing as the dog days of that's normally a baseball term, but we might be in the dog days of the football season. So we're things are kind of taking shape in college football. This is kind of an off week. In a sense, basketball season's just getting fired up. So we'll have a lot more about basketball as the season goes on with that. A couple good games this week, a few good games. Your boys took care of business against Kansas, as I figured they would.
That's right.
We discussed this off the air, but big Michigan State taking down Kentucky was big.
Yeah, that was huge, man. That was huge.
That was a beating.
Yeah, it was. They looked good.
And I guess the last night, you can call them upsets, I guess, 4 over a 3, but Arizona taking down UConn. I did, real quick on that, I looked at it. UConn had 4 guys in double digits and still lost that game, but they got out-rebounded 43-23.
That's right.
That's nuts.
What did it.
That's nuts. 11 Alabama takes down number 8 Illinois. That was a closer game, and that was a 4-point game, and I thought this was interesting. Illinois shot 59%, but they shot 59% free throws.
Yeah.
In a 4-point game.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling.
That's
it. I have a feeling those boys probably spent a little bit of time at the line today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a guess.
You shot below 80%, you getting up 100 free throws.
Yeah. So looking forward to there are a lot of 30 college football games this weekend because a lot of the SEC plays FCS teams and a lot of the lower, whether you want to call them tune-up games before rivalry week. Rivalry week. Wow.
We'll go with it. Go with it.
All right. I know you said you had a game. I'm assuming that's going to be that USC-Oregon game.
And you would assume correctly.
Okay, all right.
You would assume correctly. The reason that game is on my radar, right? If Oregon loses that game, now right now they're ranked, what, 8th? I think they're ranked 8th right now. 8th, 9th?
Yeah, something in there.
7th. Okay. If they lose that game to USC, do they make the playoffs?
This year, probably.
So here's why I asked that. If you look at their schedule, they played 3 teams with a winning record. Their biggest game, they lost to Indiana, right? They beat Iowa, and they beat Wisconsin. No, I'm sorry. I beat Iowa, and they beat Minnesota. Not Wisconsin, Minnesota. They beat Wisconsin as well, but Wisconsin doesn't have a winning record. So they play Indiana, Iowa, and Minnesota. They beat Iowa by 2 points, right? They blew out Minnesota, and they got BTA by Iowa, right? So how can you put a team in the playoffs that has one real win against the top 25 team?
I think it's this year because if they don't go, who's the next Big Ten team up? USC. So now I could see if USC wins, I could see that bumping Oregon out. I could see that because I think that's that would be a big road win for USC. So I could see. I'm thinking as much as I don't know because I looked at the line on that game, Oregon minus 10.5, and I was like, ooh,
that's a lot.
That's a bunch because I think USC is decent. I really do.
I actually, that's my my sleeper pick. I actually have USC beating Oregon this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, you look at their schedule, they do have 2 losses. Both of them are on the road. The one is a 2-point loss to Illinois. The other one is a 10-point loss on the road to Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a good football team. I don't care what anybody says. I've heard a lot of talk about whether it be Notre Dame's schedule or whatever. I mean, the fact of the matter is they have talent. Are they the best team in America? No.
No.
But they're good.
Yeah.
I don't have nearly the problem with Notre Dame being in the thick of it that some people do, because I just don't. I think they're good. I don't think this is one of those years where Notre Dame has played total trash teams all year. I mean, that especially if, let's say, if like Notre Dame wants USC to win this game.
Yeah, because they beat USC.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, and that's where I say, like we say earlier in the year, a lot of this stuff works itself out.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, you got to go back to the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, they took those 2 L's
By a grand total of 4 points. I mean, think about through the course of a football game, especially the loss to A&M. 40-41. You put, I mean, what's Texas A&M right now? Number 3?
Yeah, A&M's 3.
You put 40 on the number 3 team in the country. Now, it was a home game for Notre Dame, but still. You lost that game by 1 point. Let's say that's reversed and they beat A&M 41-40. That's a right? So that's
you're looking
at
them differently. Yeah, right. You're looking at them differently.
So, yeah, they've got some trash on their schedule, no doubt about it. But I think at the end of the day, they did what they should have done to those teams. Maybe minus the Boston College game. They probably should have put a little more than 25 on Boston College.
But you have at least 1 or 2 of those games a season.
Yeah, and not only that, when you get to this point in the season and you play those teams like Boston College, they have 0 to lose.
Nothing. They're playing with house money.
And that's their that's their bowl game. Boston College ain't going to a bowl game this year.
Yeah.
So their bowl game was, hey, we get Notre Dame coming to us. I guarantee you those boys played as hard as they could.
Yeah.
To try and sometimes I've said this for years. There are just certain teams that are bad matchups.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, or maybe
styles make fights.
Yeah, and maybe your quarterback's having an off night. Maybe you got a receiver with a case of the dropsies tonight. Maybe the running back had a bellyache. I don't know, but they've got 2 losses, and a lot of people are like, oh, those are the two best teams they played. Maybe no. If USC goes up here and beats Oregon, all of a sudden that USC win's looking pretty good. That was a 10-point win.
Yeah, it looks real good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Oregon USC game, man, because I think that's going to tell a lot about Oregon. Because I don't feel if they lose that game, they shouldn't be in the playoffs. I could totally see that. Because of what they record look like. Like I wouldn't feel like they deserve to be. And then the game after that, they play Washington, who's not even ranked. You know what I mean? So I don't feel if Oregon loses this game, they should be in the playoffs. No matter how you shake it, no matter how impressive yes, they beat Rutgers 56-10, but who cares? Everybody's beating Rutgers. Rutgers has 5 wins on the season. So I don't feel they should be in the playoffs if they lose this game.
Yeah. And that's where this is the age-old conversation too, because this is where going forward with all these different playoff formats they're kicking around for what they want to do in the future. That's kind of my problem with automatic bids. Because if everything goes, and one of the scenarios is, I think it's 4 automatic bids for the Big Ten and 4 for the SEC.
See, and I don't like that.
I don't either, because
only at automatic bid should be your conference champions.
Yeah, because then at that point, Oregon's getting in no matter what, because Michigan's the next Big Ten team, and outside of them beating Ohio State, which even I believe is unlikely, Oregon would still be the 4th. I believe that's right. Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon,
USC, and Oregon,
USC. Yep. So, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the automatic bids. I understand why the conferences want it, but I would also have the same conversation about BYU. Like BYU is sitting at 11 right now. They've got 1 loss. Like, what's their best win?
Yeah, that's a good one.
They beat a 23 ranked Utah team by 3. I don't know. I mean, look at they played some really poor teams. They only beat Colorado by 3. They only beat Arizona by 6. I mean, they got
I mean, they lost.
smoked
They
by
lost to
Texas
Texas
Tech,
Tech. Yeah.
you know? And so, and that being said, that's one of that game. BYU plays Cincinnati, and I'm
So
going to be
here's
honest
my
with you.
thing with BYU, and I think they were helped out by teams losing ahead of them because they started the season what 2, 4, 6, 8-0. So that kind of helped them out, you know. So when they took that loss to Texas Tech, it really didn't hurt them as bad because they were already higher up in the ranking. And then they come back, win the TC. I mean, if you're a Power 4 school and you lose one game on the season, you're in the playoffs unless you're Florida State and they just like, no, your quarterback's gone, so you're not even. I don't care if you are undefeated, which was a whole. I mean, it turned out that Florida State wasn't good with the quarterback that year, but I think the team gave up on that season after they didn't make the playoffs, which I understand. But if you're a Power 4 team, you got one loss, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah,
You know
pretty
what I
much.
mean? So because you're saying we're the 4 best conferences, and I have one loss to show for. So
That being said, like that's where I think, in a way, that because like what's more impressive, a one-loss Big 12 team or a two-loss Big 10 team or a two-loss SEC team, or I'd even say I don't even know, is the Big 10 or is the Big 12 better than the ACC, or is the ACC better than the Big 12?
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
I you know
I'm speaking like,
yeah
right
top yeah
right now,
right now top to bottom they
you
probably
know.
match up. They're probably if they played top to bottom 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, they'll probably come out washed. You know because I mean their ACC is not as good as we thought people thought they would be. They thought Miami would be better, Clemson would be better. Georgia Tech is a surprise of the season. So it depends on how that cookie crumbles, but they're right there, right scratching the bottom of the Power 4. But
Yeah,
you know
which
what I
I think
mean?
people would say, like, right now there are 5 ranked Big 12 teams,
Okay,
which to me is wild.
so you got Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, Houston, and Arizona State,
Yeah.
right?
And yeah, and outside of Texas Tech, BYU are one-loss teams, and Arizona
Utah,
State is 25th. They're a 3-loss team
they're a
right
three
now,
loss team. Yep.
and that's where I'm like, because if you pop over to the ACC, Pitt is a 3-loss team. SMU's a 3-loss team, and there's 3 ranked teams in the ACC. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this particular year, I don't know. I think
Then so you say Oregon has a chance whether they win or not by the landscape of
oh,
college football this year.
I do, because I think, and that's where I hate it. And this is the problem with having a committee versus having conferences and divisions and a real playoff is, I don't care what anybody, nobody will ever convince me that when that playoff committee gets together, which is made up of people from these conferences,
Yes.
nobody will ever convince me there aren't people in there going, you got to find a way to get 4 SEC teams in there. You got to find a way to get 4 Big 10 teams in there, deserving or not,
Yeah, I can understand that. I can
you
see
know?
how it will look that way as well because I actually think one of the committee guys just stepped down. So if you're SEC heavy, Big 10 heavy, you're going to try to get your conference in there because that's more money for your conference. You
And
know,
that's what I think it comes down to.
yeah,
At the end of the day, what we have is better than what we had, and what we'll get will probably be better than this. But at the end of the day, as long as there is a committee involved, it's about money. You'll never convince me it's about getting the 12 it's definitely not against about getting the 12 best teams. Otherwise there wouldn't be a group of 4 team in there, and that's just the truth, you
yeah,
know?
group of five. Yeah, you're right.
Or a group of 5, yeah.
Yeah, no, no,
So,
because you can't tell me that group of five champion, even if what I mean if it's the champion coming out of there, they're better than any SEC team or any Big Ten. Well, I won't say any. The ones that's deserving to be in the playoffs. You can't tell me that they're better than those teams.
Right. And
You
that
know
would
what I
be
mean?
my question. If BYU runs the table, they've got one loss.
Mm-hmm.
If Oregon loses to USC, they've got 3 losses. Now you
Mm-hmm.
tell me, you think on any field, home, away, neutral, do you really think you watch football? Do you think BYU could beat Oregon realistically? I don't think there's a
No,
chance.
no, I don't.
Not only that, I think Oregon
I
would
would love
blow
to
them
see
out.
that. I would love to see that, and I would love for BYU to pull the upset. But if I have to say I'm putting my life investment, life savings on it,
Right.
I'm not putting my money on BYU.
No.
You
And
know what I
that's my
mean?
whole point with the thing. So I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't think it'll matter. That's why at least I say what we have now is better, because at least now with the amount of teams we're getting in, there's no way we're going to look back and think, "Oh man, if they would have made it, they
Yeah,
would have won." Like the
yeah,
winner is somewhere in this group, right? We're really talking about the bottom games,
yeah. The bottom
you
half,
know.
that like 9 through 12, 10, 8 through 12.
I think we
Yeah,
could all agree that I would feel pretty safe betting my money that the national champion is one of the top 3 or 4 teams.
yeah.
And
I will be, I'd be comfortable doing that.
yeah, but yeah, I do
Yeah,
love that game. Here's another banger game that is not a ranked matchup, but when you get these 2 teams together, it's fun. And that
what you got?
is Tennessee is rolling into Florida.
Let me tell you something.
And
Yes, it is.
you talk about 2 teams with some
Yes, it
history.
is. Yes, it is.
And I feel
That's a
like
good game every year.
it's gonna get chippy. It always does.
Yep.
And I that is a game that the winner the outcome really is irrelevant, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
No. Yeah.
that is going to be a fantastic game, I think. Maybe
I
not
agree.
score wise, but it's gonna be it's a train wreck, right?
Yeah. No. No.
Like
I completely agree.
yeah, you won't be able to look away.
No. 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 That's one of the games you won't be able to look away, because it's going to be so much fun.
Yes, yes.
It's probably be defense optional.
Right. Most likely.
Most likely defense optional. And I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch, especially with Florida having a new coach now. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, defense optional. Sometimes when I go to McD's, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a McChicken instead of
There you go.
fries.
There you go.
You know what I
Start a
mean?
little controversy.
Yeah. So it's like I'm gonna go ahead and get another sandwich instead of them
There
fries.
you go. There you
But
go.
yeah, and here and another game, which I don't know that the game will be much. I think Miami blows Vatek out, but I'm curious to, I don't know, see how Vatek looks. Like I'm actually really intrigued for next season to see. I don't, not that I'm not expecting huge things out of James Franklin in year 1 at Virginia Tech,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean the guy, even though he's never won the big one, the guy wins football games.
That's
I
right.
mean,
That's right.
he did well at Vanderbilt. He did well at Penn State. I mean, he's going to make them a better program.
I actually think him going to the ACC will make him a more,
Yes,
make him a more marketable candidate. And I
100%.
think it'll give him the opportunity to erase the he can't win the big one narrative, because he's only going to have so many big games in the ACC. Clemson, they having a down year, but typically Clemson is a powerhouse in ACC. All right, Miami, Georgia Tech this year, but they're usually up and down.
Right,
They're
100%.
Vatek usually they're usually a strong out in the ACC, have some kind of relevancy in that conference. So he has an opportunity to come in there within the first 2-3 seasons and plant his flag. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. I'm loving to see what happens with James Franklin there, because, like you say, the guy win ball games. If you look at his record, his record was what it was in top 10 matchups. But you look at his record and, the rest of everybody else he played. And then you have to realize those top 10 matchups, he was playing Ohio State, who's probably ranked in the top 3 when they played. He was playing Michigan. He was playing, who else is in the Big Ten that was ranked a lot?
Well, he's playing Oregon. He's playing,
Oregon, yeah,
you know, Illinois when they're tough.
yeah.
There's teams, and he was there so long. I mean, hell, he was there back when Michigan State used to be good.
There you go.
But here's the thing: two things just got a lot easier for James Franklin. Do you know what those two
Okay, what's
things
that?
are?
I want to say recruiting and
Well,
winning.
yes, but
Recruiting and
his
winning.
path to the conference championship just got a lot easier,
Yeah, definitely,
and his
definitely. Because
path
you
to the
really only got
college
to play two
football,
teams.
which makes his path to the college football playoff a lot easier.
There you
Doesn't mean
go.
he's going to go into the playoffs and win,
No,
but
but hey,
getting there,
any given Saturday, man.
yeah. And that
Any
whole
given
thing,
Saturday.
I love that. That's one of those things because I'm always like, I'm one of these guys. Like I always think coaches get way too much credit when
Mm-hmm.
they win, and they take too much shit when they lose. And I think
When they
that's
lose, yeah,
across the board, other than maybe baseball, because baseball is more of a chess game.
yeah, yeah,
But football, basketball, you got to have players,
yeah. You
right?
got, yeah. Your players
And
got to play.
when they say like, "Well, he's not a big game coach," Ryan Day wasn't a big game coach until last year,
That's right. And it
right?
wasn't until the playoffs that he was a big game coach.
Right, right.
Because during the season, that's y'all were calling for his job.
Well, yeah. I mean, he lost to Michigan. He lost to Georgia. He lost. I mean, it was like, So it's like for years, Ryan Day wasn't a big game coach, and now the
That's
guy's
right.
got a natty, and there's a good chance he's going to have 2 rings come the end of
Yeah,
the season.
yeah,
So whether I like it or not.
yeah. No, no, I'm right there with you. I think, I, I like Ohio State chances. Um, I want to see what that Big Ten championship look like with them in Indiana.
I do too.
Because that'll say a lot about the team going into because Indiana's going to be physical and they're
Yes.
not going to back down.
I'm going to call it
And
right now.
that's what you're going to look forward to in the playoffs. Them SEC teams are going to be physical and they're not backing down.
100%. Absolutely. I'm going to call it right now, not the game, but I'm going to say that is going to be the most watched football game of the season
I
because
1000% agree with that.
everybody knows the Buckeyes are good. Everybody knows that Indiana's good, but are they elite good?
Yeah, there you go. There you
And
go. Are you ready for that prime time moment?
and it just
Yeah.
feels like one of those times where it was like they got to the playoffs and that was like their year. Kind of in a way reminded me of Michigan, and you could say even Ohio State before that. It's like you get to the playoffs and you lose, you get that
Yeah.
taste in your mouth,
Yep.
and then it's the next year you come back.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
so
And that's what I'm looking for with Indiana.
yeah,
Because the loss they took in the playoffs last year, they beat themselves, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't think they were ready for that moment. But hey, new year, you're going to get a first round bye. Whether you win the Big Ten championship or not, you're going to get a first round bye. You're one of the four best teams in the country.
yeah. I don't know. I think there's a chance if Indiana loses, I think they fall out of the top 4.
You think so?
I do, unless it's crazy close. Because outside of anybody else losing, because Texas A&M again outside of them losing,
Mm-hmm.
but
You know what?
Texas A&M,
I could see in
you know
Georgia.
what I mean? Yeah,
So it will come down to that game as well because those two are going to play each other in the SEC championship game.
yeah. Like I think they
So
would
I could
need
see
help.
that. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I could see that. If it's a close game and the SEC game get out of hand, I could see them staying. If it's close game either way, then you're looking at strength of schedule and all this and all that. And I think the SEC teams have a better strength of schedule than Indiana. So yeah, I could see that.
especially
They,
now,
they won't drop. They won't drop below 5 though.
No, I think they would purposely drop them to 5, which I don't know would kind of be trash because at that point you'd have to move up Texas Tech or Ole Miss. So yeah, I don't know, but I like to say if it's close, let's say it's a tight game, a great game, and Ohio State kicks a field goal at the buzzer, then I could see okay, hey, they beat them by 3, neutral site, last second field goal. Then I could maybe see them keeping Indiana at number 4.
You know what's crazy? You can BYU and Utah. You can actually go through this and only have one Big 12 school because BYU and Utah they will be on the outside looking in because you got to throw in your Power Five champ and your ACC champ. There's not an ACC team in the top 12. BYU and Utah, bye bye. That would be crazy.
Yep.
That would be crazy
Yeah,
because
because
I mean,
especially
even though
if
those teams aren't, what I mean, top 3, top 5, I feel worthy. They're better than everybody that's up under them.
yeah, and this is where it'll get interesting because, and I agree, I think those would get bumped out, especially if USC wins and it's close. If USC wins and it's close, they're going to go up probably just above Oregon, but Oregon will still be above BYU and if it's close.
If it's close, yeah, they'll bump down to probably 11. Well, even then, that will be tough because, like I say, 11, 12 is a cut line because you got to bring in your Power 5 champion. You got to bring in, like I say, the ACC champion because none of them are ranked in the top 12 or the top 10.
Yep. So you basically have 2 teams in the top 12 right now
that won't make it.
That are not going to make it.
Yep.
The only caveat is if Miami wins out, then I could see Miami getting up in there because they're right there on the cusp at 13. But you would, one of them at that point would still get get bumped.
How does Miami close the season out? They close the season out with Virginia Tech and Pitt. Those aren't world beaters.
No, but I think
they would have to win the ACC championship.
I think what you're going to have though is you're going to have one. I'm not kidding you. I think Cincinnati beats BYU, which will take care of that one.
You know what will shake this whole thing up?
Yeah, I do. Say it. Say it.
Georgia Tech versus Georgia.
Well, that ain't what I thought you was going to say.
If Georgia Tech beats Georgia the last week of the season, that would shake up a whole lot.
I don't see that happening, but yeah, it would.
No, I don't see it happening either. But if it happens, because like I say, any given Saturday,
that would be good. That would be good for the Ohio State Indiana loser.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
what game were you going to say?
Well, I thought you were going to say, what if? I mean, Michigan right now is sitting at 18, and don't get me wrong, this is not going to be some homer ass post where I'm talking about Michigan getting into playoffs.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm not sure they can beat anybody in the top 12. Maybe
and
BYU.
You made it clear earlier this week that they don't deserve it.
They don't. That is not a playoff team. I love them. I bleed those colors, but that is not a playoff team, and I don't want them going in there and just getting manhandled by, Ole Miss or some bullshit. Anyway.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
But what happens though? Like Michigan, if they handle business this weekend and they beat Maryland, right? And let's say Oregon beats USC. That's a third loss for USC, so they're down.
They're done.
Michigan could move up simply by just beating Oregon. Maybe not much, but by a spot or two.
Maryland, yeah. Beat Maryland.
And then they go in, and let's just say for fun, I truly, as much as I would love to sit here and tell you I think they're going to beat shit out of the Buckeyes, I think it's highly unlikely this season. But let's say they do. What does that do? How high? Let's say Michigan is sitting at 16 after this week.
Okay.
And they go in and they beat a team that everybody says can't be beat.
And they beat them.
Do
Michigan's
they move
in the top? Yeah, they definitely move up.
Do they move up 4 or 5 spots?
Definitely move up. And then depending on how they beat them. So if you beat them by a last second field goal, Ohio State to get some kind of it's a rivalry game, they'll make that'll happen.
Absolutely.
Right? So Ohio State's not falling out. Now they might fall out of the top 4, but they're not falling out the playoffs, right? But Michigan, now you done bumped up to 10.
I agree. Right? I mean, you
done bumped up to 10.
You got to get at least a 5 or a 6 spot bump if you knock off the number 1 team. I mean,
absolutely. Where do y'all play at this year? At the Shoe, right?
No, it's at the Big House.
Oh, it's at the Big House. Okay.
There was a game last year at the Shoe.
Yeah.
13 to 10.
Yeah, I think I watched that game. That should have been the end of Chip Kelly's coaching career, but for some reason, whatever, he still has a job.
I think Michigan. I think the Buckeyes were like a 40-point favorite in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
It was pretty big.
But yeah. So that being said, as much as I would love for history to repeat itself there,
you don't feel like it's going to happen.
I just don't see it. Last year, even though like this year's team is clearly better offensively, But last year we still had an elite pass rush.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just don't see that. I think we got some good young guys. I think we got a good young team. We have a very young team
I
age
think y'all will
wise,
y'all will definitely be better next year.
yeah, and games wise. Like this team just doesn't have a ton of games.
No,
They
yeah, I
got
was watching
several
something. Actually,
six
the game
freshmen.
Saturday.
Yeah,
It was like the team that won the national championship. No, it was Joe Clapp. It was like that team collectively had like 500 games under their belt. Like this
yeah,
one barely got 100.
yeah.
You know, so there's definitely a young team, and y'all would definitely be better for it next year. Um, but yeah, I don't see Michigan beating Ohio State, but I would love for it to happen.
Yes, me too. That would be it would be awesome.
Yeah, Nick, can you imagine Michigan beats Ohio State, Georgia Tech beats Georgia? That would shake up. Oh man, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That would be a lot of fun.
and I'll tell you what. As much as and it wouldn't be the whole fan base, but there would be people, even though Ryan Day would be coming off of a national championship and still headed to the playoffs,
Yeah.
there would be people calling for his job.
Oh yeah. Now imagine this, bro. So hypothetically, Michigan beats Ohio State. Now you limping into the Big Ten championship and could lose that game too.
I think they still make the playoffs,
No, yeah, I agree,
but
but
yeah,
they will not have home field advantage. They will have to go somewhere and play that opening game on the road. Oof, man, oof, ooh, that would a buckle your chin straps up, Ohio State. Y'all gonna don't do not. What's it? This will be the 6th year in a row not winning.
yeah.
Yeah, don't
No,
lose to the
this would be five. Well,
5 playing 6 because they didn't play COVID.
yes,
So yeah, don't lose this year, man. Don't lose this year. And that Indiana team, y'all lose to Michigan. That Indiana team is gonna be watching film and will be like, okay, yeah, they're gonna go into that game with even more confidence. And I think that's the game I'm gonna pull out a cigar because Sig is gonna be like, he
oh
gonna be,
boy, if he wins that game,
man.
I will be locked in for that press conference.
Oh, that's gonna be beautiful.
I mean, he is gonna. Oh my
You
god.
mean you mean second year? Not only did he go to the playoffs last year, but he's going to the playoffs this year as the 1 seed, and he has a Big Ten championship on his belt. Oh man, man, look here, that'll be beautiful. That will be beautiful. 3 weeks away, 3 weeks away, and then we'll see. But yeah, man, I would man, that would be ugly if Ohio State were to lose back-to-back games like that.
It would be it'd be something. I try not to get too excited
Yeah, no, understandable.
because I still feel in my heart it's unlikely.
Yeah, no. Hey, but
So
again, any given Saturday,
that's right.
you felt it was unlikely last year as well,
I did.
and y'all pulled it out. So, we'll see what happens in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, it should be fun, man. It should definitely be fun. So, what else we got?
Well, let's pick some NFL games.
Hey, let's do it, man. Let's do it. See if I can extend my lead, man.
Yeah, it's which I gotta check. I don't remember if I wrote down the right because we didn't pick last week,
Nope, we didn't pick last week, even though I only lost 1 game last week.
and then I wish I would have looked at them and see what I would have done. Because it's what, a 4 point lead?
Yeah,
Or-
4 point.
Yeah, so I'm missing one somewhere. So I only got a 3 point lead on my board.
Okay.
I think I got to go through and add one. So I don't have the up to date standings, but I will when we come back on the
All
next
right.
time.
Too easy. Too easy.
So let's run these games. So we got
Let's
the
do it.
game that's coming on here directly. A little Buffalo at Houston. Buffalo's a 5.5 point favorite.
Yep. So this game is kind of tricky for me because I'm torn if I want to start Josh Allen this week or if I want to start Drake May this week, especially after Josh Allen gave me 50 points on my bench last week. But going against the number 1 defense in football, I don't think he's going to be giving me 50 points this week. So I'm going to stick with Drake May, but I'm going to take the Bills.
Okay.
Yep, I'm going to take the Bills
All right.
because
I
they
will.
need it.
Yeah,
They
they
need it.
do. They
They
need it
need it.
bad. I will take the Bills as well.
Yeah, they need it.
New England at Cincinnati.
I think that's a no-brainer.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer.
I will give you Cincinnati. And,
Oh,
let's
definitely going
see.
with Drake. Drake May.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Cincinnati's Cincinnati.
yeah. No, there's.
Minnesota traveling a short way to Green Bay. Green Bay's 6-point favorite.
I'm going with Green Bay because JJ has not looked.
I will as well. And this next game is fire, bro. I feel I'm gonna go with whichever because I need to make up some ground here. I'm gonna take whichever team you don't.
Okay, all right.
We got Indy at KC.
Oof.
Kansas City 3.5-point favorite. Only a 3.5-point favorite. Like it's too bad we don't do the line because I would totally. I ain't even gonna say it out loud. I ain't gonna say it.
Man, Indy at KC. Because they're playing in Kansas City, I'm taking the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
I'm actually happy because I thought you was gonna take Indy and I really wanted Indy. So I'm gonna take Indy because I would in a money game I would definitely take Indy plus the points.
Yeah, plus the points. Yeah,
100%.
I think that's gonna be a really good game.
I do too.
And it's an 11 o'clock game, so that's gonna be a whole lot of fun. We get it early, and then that's gonna be a good game.
I agree. Pittsburgh at Chicago, the first place. That's something you haven't. Sounds funny coming off my.
Go ahead and say that again.
The first place Chicago Bears.
That's right. That's right. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play this week. You know, he has the injury to his non-throwing hand. He could play, but I don't think even if he does, it will make a difference. I'm going with the Bears. I think they're finding a nice groove with Williams. Swift is balling. Adunze, he's balling. So I think I'm going to go with the Bears for the win.
All right.
And Vegas agrees with me. They got them at 2.5, but that 2.5 at home is not a lot. But
no,
you know they usually give you 3, 4 being at home. But
I'm actually again I'm happy you said that because I wanted Pittsburgh.
okay,
I'm
at to write down the games we have different.
I see what Chicago's doing, but they've played some trash teams too.
No, absolutely. And then I feel Pittsburgh is sliding because they're looking in their rearview mirror and they see that Ravens coming down the pipeline, and it's like, all right, let me put my turn signal on, get off the highway. If you've ever been to Europe, you know what it's like on the Autobahn. Them lights come flashing and you just slide over.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of like I kind of like Pittsburgh because I feel like they're kind of in a similar situation to Buffalo.
Okay.
Even though Pittsburgh's in first place, but Buffalo Pittsburgh needs a win.
Yeah, they need it back because the Ravens are coming.
Yeah, the Ravens are they're coming, and 100%. This one's kind of turdy. New York Jets go to Baltimore.
I think we're both going with the Baltimore Ravens on that one.
Yeah,
I don't think there's.
I wouldn't pick the Jets unless they can play like 22 on 11, and even then, I think Baltimore probably still have the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Seattle at Tennessee. Seattle's a big 12.5-point favorite.
Yeah, because old Cam Moore believes his team is ass. Yeah, I'm going to take the best connection in football with Sam Darnold and JSN.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. The New York Football Giants travel to Detroit.
It's going to get real ugly for the Lions. I mean, for Giants after the Lions just took that L to the Eagles.
Yeah, they got a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, it's not even going to be close. What's the line? 10? Yeah, give me the over. Yeah, give me the over. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I will also take Detroit.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping St. Brown in my lineup because after Quinyon Mitchell shut him down last week, he's liable to give me about 40 points.
Yes, that's very, very likely. Jacksonville goes to Arizona.
I'm staying with the Trevor Lawrence train, man. I like with him, ETN, and that Duval. That's how he said it. Duval. And I'm taking the Jaguars, man. The Cardinals can't
Yeah,
figure out what they're doing on the offense. Jacoby
I
Brissett, he looked good for one game, but eh,
I'm
that's over.
looking for places to take a chance, and that's not it.
And yeah, nah, that
I
wouldn't be it
won't
either.
be I won't be taking Arizona. I will have Jacksonville as well.
That's right.
Next on the list, Cleveland.
Mm.
This is a rough one.
Oh,
Cleveland at Vegas.
Cleveland at Vegas, and Mr. Shador Sanders getting the start. First start of the season. Get the finally practice with the starting group and the O line will know his signal call. And because I don't trust the Raiders any kind of way, I'm going Cleveland, baby.
Really?
I'm going Cleveland.
All right. I think Sanders might end up being okay at some point. I don't think week one is it, even though lucky for him, it's a perfect situation for him because they are
Perfect
playing the
situation.
Raiders.
And that
But
defense with Myles Garrett is legit.
I
So
just
I'm taking them more off the defense against the Raiders than the offense against the Raiders. But either way, the offense is going to score more points and put them in a position to win.
so there's another man. I could possibly just get back to
You
even
could
this week.
possibly tie it this week.
Atlanta goes to New Orleans, and
Oh, good Lord.
this line is a little alarming.
Yeah, 2.5.
That New
Uh,
Orleans is the favorite.
yeah, that's because Michael Penix is injured. He's done for the season, has a torn ACL. This time it's his left knee. In college, it was his right knee twice. Um, Geez, good gracious. Man, I don't give me Atlanta because I have Bijan in my fantasy. Like this is I don't even know where you
Yeah,
how do you how do you justify your pick in this game?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I've got Bijan in another league, and I've got
Yeah,
London. I don't. Yeah, I don't even know about that. Here's one. I think I know who you're taking.
yeah. Don't even need to say it.
Philly gonna take the train to Dallas, and I am definitely not picking Dallas. Even though I do think the Vegas has started to know, and again, I don't want to get on the Philly thing about how they're winning, and I think part of it is because Dallas does have an offense,
Yeah, Dallas has an offense.
but
You
Philly's
know,
only a 3.5 point favorite. I'm
yeah,
I'm I'm
but
surprised. That seems a
three and a
little low
half
to me.
points on the road. So really, we're about a touchdown favorite.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that
That's
one's.
yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Buccaneers go to the Rams of
Sunday
Los
night
Angeles.
football. Okay, let's see. Give me the Rams.
The Rams.
Give me the
I
Rams.
will also.
Yeah, give me the Rams at home. I think that's a safe bet.
Monday Night Football. Carolina. This is kind of a downer for a Monday night game. No offense, Terrell, if you're listening. Um, Carolina at San Francisco.
And Carolina they might be the surprise of the season. They might be the surprise of the season. Bryce Young looked good, but when what Purdy did last week, it's like he hasn't missed a beat. So I am going to go with the 49ers.
I will as well.
Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers. So how
All
many
right.
games do we have different, man?
We have three.
What they are? What are they?
Indy, Kansas City. I took Indy. You've got KC. Pittsburgh, Chicago. I have Pittsburgh. You have Chicago.
Okay.
And Cleveland, Vegas. You have
Ah,
Cleveland. I have Vegas. Everything
all right.
else is
Chalk.
the same.
All right.
So that's
Too easy.
interesting.
Let's see if I can extend my lead or you close that gap on me, man.
I might get it. Might get it close. Close.
That's it. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content, man, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. You know what I mean? Leave a comment. You want us to talk about something? You want to hear something? Put it in the comments, and we'll be sure to get back at it, man. So what else you got, buddy?
So I thought maybe we could generate a little friendly banter.
All right, let's do it.
So interesting thing comes out from Fox, from R.J. Young. He put out a 24 team college football bracket.
Okay.
I sent it to you so you can see. And I got to tell you, for the longest time, I have been saying 24 team bracket in college football would be atrocious. It's way too many teams.
Mm-hmm.
There's half of those teams don't have a legitimate chance at winning.
That's right.
But I'm looking at this bracket and I am thinking, wow, look at some of these games, right? So just skip the first 1, 2, 3, 4 first round games, the 4 on the top. Skip those.
Okay.
Miami and Michigan.
That's right.
That'd be a great game.
That'd be a good game.
Pitt.
And it would be at Michigan.
Right. Pitt at Texas.
Mm-hmm.
SC at Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Houston at Notre Dame would probably, I think Notre Dame wins that. But let's play this out for a minute, right?
Okay.
So let's go back to the top. Virginia Tech and is that Indiana? Yeah.
No, that's actually Virginia, Utah.
Yeah, Utah. That's weird, man. I like when you first glance at it, like with the way they cut the logos down, it looks the same as the Houston logo.
That's right.
So whoever wins that, right? So let's say, it don't matter. Let's Virginia. Virginia wins that. They're going to take on the Buckeyes.
Mm-hmm.
SMU, BYU. I don't know that. Based on those rankings, I still think SMU beats BYU.
I would agree with that.
But then you get an SMU Texas Tech game in the second round, which I think could be fire.
Which will be great.
Then we got, what is that? North Texas and Vandy. Is that who that is? That green?
Yep. North Texas and Vandy. Yep.
So Vandy probably wins that, but now you're going to get a Vandy Georgia game, which might be decent. Navy Alabama. Alabama probably wins that.
That would be fun.
Be a good game though, right?
Yep.
But now you're going to get Alabama Oregon.
Yep.
Fantastic game.
I agree.
The next is Miami, Michigan. Doesn't matter which team wins on that one. You're going to get a great game against Indiana. Let's say Texas beats Pitt. You get a Red River rivalry game in the playoffs.
That's right.
Okay. SC Georgia Tech. That's another one. I don't think it matters who wins. I think that's a great game against A&M. Notre Dame probably beats Houston. So Notre Dame, Ole Miss, great game. Like this, I maybe it's because I had never really visualized it and seen it on a thing. But you've got, and people would say like, oh, but you've got half the games in the first round are trash. Yeah, but shoot, look at the NCAA tournament. Let's be honest. Let's use last year as an example. It was chalk for the first 3 rounds, damn near.
Absolutely.
So, football is different than basketball, but man, I think this would be fun. This would be fun to watch, to see these games and see these teams with some of those matchups. Some of them you're familiar with, some of them you're not. As far as meaning the team being familiar with the other team. And I just think it would make for, I'm sorry, but dude, I would love to watch Alabama play Oregon.
No, I would love that.
In a playoff game. Or, Michigan or Miami play Indiana, even especially this year, right? Let's say that's this year. Michigan didn't have to play Indiana. Well, now you're going to get tested, if you did win the first game, you're going against Indiana right out of the gate.
Right off the rip, yep.
And then who wouldn't want to see with SC's team that they have this year against that Oklahoma team?
That's right.
Who doesn't want to watch that?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm right there with you.
It'd be A&M on that one. But, I just like the potential, and you're going to get some turdy matchups. You're always going to have that. And we get that in the NFL, right?
Yeah, of course.
You see the NFL bracket when it comes out, and it's like, man, there's a few teams that I can pencil them into the next round,
Yep.
But how do you feel about that? What do you think? You think 24 teams, college football, is that too many?
Actually, I don't. I actually like the idea of that, and here's why. Because then you there's no complaints. This team didn't make it. If this team would have made it, they would have. You have no complaints, right? Because it's essentially the top 25, right? So, and then like number 25 gets bumped out because you got to bring in the group of 4 champ, right? So you essentially have the top 25, and everybody has an opportunity to actually claim their seat as a national champ. This will be a true national champion.
Yes, I
Right?
agree.
We like you say, we have 12 right now, and 12 was better than 4. 4 was better than 2. 2 was better than BCS, so on and so forth. BCS was better than co-champions, so on. So every rendition will be better. But I truly believe if you were to do this, one, there's zero complaints anybody can have.
Yeah, I
Right?
agree.
And actually, I'm gonna put this one back up because this is the one that's this from the latest bracket. The one I did was from last week when I just put the bracket up. This is the one we're talking about right now from the latest rankings and CFP. But I believe you would get a true champion, and there's nothing no one can say across the board. It's like, all right, well, we got 12, but 11 and 10, 10 and 11, or 11 and 12 gets bumped out because you got to bring the Power 5, the group of 5 champion in, da 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 da. You don't have that excuse with 2014 playoff. And then not only do you get 12 more teams, but you get 6 more meaningful games. Right? Your school is earning more revenue because now you got 6 more home games. You know what I mean? And if you think about, like, even when we did our bracket last year, that I won, by the way.
Get that in
even
there.
even even when we did our bracket last year, it was like, oh well, if this goes, oh, I don't know about this one. I think about this one, da 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 da. Only thing we were consensus about was Boise State wasn't getting out the first round. Right? Other than that, you had water cooler talk. Like, bro, I believe this team catch fire. Oh, yeah, but they got to come to the cold. Da, 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 da. You had a whole lot of different storylines. You see what I'm saying? Like you just said, like, if Texas beat Pitt in this one, well, they go play Oklahoma. You get another Red River rivalry. But this time, instead of playing in Dallas, you're playing in Oklahoma.
Yep. And
Can
that's
you
what I love
imagine what that stadium will be like if
in
Texas was to come into?
a playoff game.
My God, I probably would go to that game.
And that's what I love about this, because in this format, the first 2 rounds are home games for the higher seed.
Exactly.
So even in the second round, all those teams that are in the second round, that's where those games are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because they're not reshuffling.
right.
If the lower seed wins, hey, the lower seed wins, higher seed wins, hey. But you're playing who's ever right there. So if number 24, if SMU, say, comes out and beats BYU, no, you're going to play Texas Tech. You're not going to Ohio State. You're going to Texas Tech because there's no reshuffling. So with a 2014 playoff bracket, oh my God, dude, I would love that. I would, if they need help with any kind of funds, call me. Just let me get a return on my investment.
Right.
But I would definitely put in for that, man.
And
because I would love that more than the 12.
All it would take is 1 or 2 upsets in the second round.
That's it.
To change the whole thing.
That's it.
Like, what if they play these games, boom, boom, and whoever, I'm not going to use Ohio State because people will say I'm being, but what if, I don't know, Navy just
Navy beat Alabama.
Yeah. Right. And Navy moves on and goes to Oregon.
And then beats Oregon.
Like, what?
Holy.
Yeah, like, it's, I don't know.
It would be, like I say, there'll be no excuses. Because you have to win the game on the field. I don't care what you look like on paper. It's just like the Super Bowl last year. Everybody was like, oh, I feel Philly has the better team, but the other team has Patrick Mahomes. None of that matters. It's what you do on the field. So if South Texas goes to Vanderbilt and puts belt to ass, and then goes to Athens and put belt to ass, well, guess what? They're going to the quarterfinals.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So I would love it. I would lose my mind if this was to happen because literally all you're doing is taking the AP and bringing it over and dropping number 25.
Yep. And that's what I love and that's what I like. I would go for this. I like this more than a 12 team with automatic bids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get rid of
Absolutely.
automatic bids because you're going to have down years. You could argue the Big
Yeah.
Ten is down right now, right? I mean, Michigan's not great. Penn State's bad. There's really what? I mean, you could argue maybe there's three, but there's really two good Big Ten teams.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's why I said all the excuses will be out the door. You don't have to worry about automatic bids. Only team that will be automatic will be the conference champions. And if you're a conference champion that's not in the top 12, 2, 4, 6, top 8, well, guess what? You don't get an 8 seed. You fall in where you fall in at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
would love it. I would love it.
I think it would be absolute fire.
Dude, and that would be such a game after game. Now, granted, like you say, you'll have some turd games. Like if Vanderbilt, North Texas, nobody will put money that North Texas will beat Vanderbilt, right? But it's not like Vanderbilt is Ohio State, so they could actually have a game against North Texas.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So this is possible that you will have some turd games, but I think because of the magnitude of the game itself, because you're in the playoffs, I don't think you would have many, man. Like Virginia, Utah, I believe that would be a burner of a game, man.
I do too.
I
do too.
Like
I think
Arizona State,
all of these games.
Who did Arizona State play last year? And Cam Scatterboo just went straight crazy on them. Like he had a throwing touchdown. He had 2 or 3 rushing but nobody gave Arizona State a chance to even be in the game, let alone win the game. So this would be, man, oh my God, that'd be, as a sports fan, as a ball fan,
yes.
Oh my God, like, don't call me at work. I'm taking the whole 2-3 weeks off.
And especially if they did it like that. Like if you ran these, because this is 1, 2, 3, 8 games, right? Imagine running 8 games and you run like 2 on Friday, right? You got a 7 and a 10 or a 5 and a 9, whatever it is.
However you do it.
And then you run 3 on Saturday and 3 on Sunday.
Well, that would be great, but they wouldn't do Sunday because of the NFL. So they would have to do like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 2 games Thursday, 2 games, 4 games.
Yeah. Then you'd have
or
to
2 games Thursday, 2 games Friday, 4 games Saturday to knock out the first round, and then you go 2-2. Or you could do all 4 games. The second round, you do all 4 games on Saturday, and then keep so on and so forth. But it would be tough to go to. So you would have to do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you could do Friday, Saturday, or all Saturday, however you want to do it. But that second round, that's only 2, 4,
8 games.
2, 4, 8 games. So you go 4 Friday, 4 Saturday, or 2 Friday, 6 Saturday, however you want to do it.
That's a lot of games on a Friday.
Yeah. So you would have to go like 2 games on Friday, and then like.
That being said,
when you're doing that, but man, I believe they will figure it out. And I will be in front of my TV watching every single game. And that would be the problem, because if you do so many games like that and they're in the same time slot, some games won't have the viewership as other games, but you do that now anyway. So it's like, hey, it is what it is. People are going to watch the game that they want to watch. Like me, I watch multi-view, so I'm watching multiple games at the same time anyway.
I got 2
anyway,
at least.
So like I could pop up 2 screens, watch all 8 games at one time. So I think I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah, I think it would be huge. And I think you're going to get some matchups that otherwise you probably wouldn't see.
Yeah.
I just
like when the last time you seen a Navy Alabama?
Well, or even like if Miami were to beat Michigan, Miami Indy Miami Indiana, like
like how often would that? When the last time you seen a Utah Notre Dame?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you would get games and that's why it'd kind of be like, it'd be March Madness in December. Because you get games in March that you rarely see. You know what I mean? So I would love that. Oh my man, sign me
Yeah.
up.
So I would
Sign me up.
say I'm going to say this to our viewers. What do you guys think? Do you like the 24? Do you like the 12? What how would you, if you like the 24, how would you tweak this? If there is some tweaking to be had, what would you like to see? Because I'm curious, because I have seen so many different scenarios over the last 2 years that I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is the first one that I'm like, other than them figuring out how they're going to get all the games played in it, because you can't spread them out too far, because then you're going to have a problem with, man, this team was off for 8 days and this team was only
Yeah,
off for
exactly.
4 days or 5 days,
Exactly.
whatever it is. But we're curious. So if you,
Yeah. No,
drop us a
absolutely.
comment, let us know how you would tweak it, because to me, if I'm being honest, I think this would be fire.
Hey, RJ
Absolute
Young, man,
fire.
thanks for starting the conversation, man. I know you're not the first person to do it, but man, doing it like this, breaking it down like this, man, putting this bracket together, man, we appreciate it, because that right there got my fan juices rolling.
Yeah, that. I think this is fire. I really do. I think, and I like I said, I think in the end, ultimately, what it will do is you definitely, nobody got cheated, right? Like because if you were outside of 24, you wasn't into sniffing it anyway.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know. So,
Exactly.
but yeah, I loved this.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Like I say, only person that misses out is 25. You know, but hey, if you were 25, you wouldn't have made it 12 anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah,
You know,
agreed.
so they'd be the only ones that can gripe and complain, but nobody will listen to that anyway. You know, so I love it. Like you say, you would get matchups that you rarely wouldn't get, and I mean, like like Ohio State, Texas Tech. Like, come on, man. When the last time you seen a game like, even if it went chalk, Ohio State, Texas Tech, Georgia, Oregon, Indiana, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Ole Miss. I mean, they in the same conference, so they play more often. But I mean, those would be banger quarterfinal games, semifinal, and that will at that point will be the ultimate national champion, because nobody will be able to be like, oh well, we were left out. There wouldn't be a Florida what an FI Florida Atlantic. Is they the one that went 12-0 and didn't get in?
That was University of Central Florida, UCF.
Central Florida, UCF.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
you
Scott
won't have that.
Frost.
You won't have that because they'll be in this bracket, and then you would have to prove that you're the true national champion. You won't just be able to hang some self-proclaimed national champion banner. You know what I mean? So I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's, and honestly, I think it's the future. If I'm being honest, I just
No,
think,
absolutely,
because all it's going to do at the end of the day, as much as I hate it, it's about money.
absolutely.
And let's be honest, the same reason the NBA and Major League Baseball and the NFL have expanded their playoffs over the year to
Yep.
allow more teams in,
Yep.
it's the main factor is money. It
I mean, think about
drives
the
viewership.
NBA has a play-in tournament. You know what I mean? They have a play-in tournament to drive more revenue, because you given, was it 7 or 8, 9, 10, and 11? You give it all four of them. Hey, all right, well, y'all got a chance for the last two spots, or 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. You're playing for the last two spots in the playoffs, but that's still playoff basketball, which is a good product, which draws in more fans. So at the end of the day, everybody makes money. And whether you're a podcaster that talks about it and you're monetized on YouTube or whatever, or you're the college making millions of dollars, everybody's eating off of it.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
I'm with it. They should make this change this year.
Right. Yeah, like it's still, there's still time.
There's still time.
We already have
There's
a
still time.
bracket.
Yeah. All you got to do is add 12 more teams. You know? Oh, that would be
So
fire, man. That would be fire.
so the next topic of conversation is, I sent you another graphic.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe this one is from All Sports Cultures. I'm unfamiliar with them, but I thought this graphic was interesting. I disagree with it heavily, but it is the top 30 most valuable players to their team, and it's across all four major sports: baseball, basketball, football, hockey. And I have serious gripes.
Okay.
Serious gripes. Number one, they have Shohei Ohtani as the number one most valuable player to their team.
Okay.
Now,
I take it you don't like that.
I hate that.
Okay. Why?
And the biggest reason is because the Dodgers would still be really, really, really good even without him.
Even without him. Okay.
And that to me is what most valuable means.
Okay.
Right? Like, sure, the Dodgers are better with Ohtani, no doubt about it. But it's not like without him, they wouldn't be a playoff team.
Understood.
Right? And they have Judge at number 8, which I believe, if I look real quick, yeah, Judge is the second baseball player on the list. So the top, just real quick, the top, Ohtani's 1, Joker is 2, Mahomes is 3. I do not follow much hockey, but Connor McDavid is 4 for the Oilers. Giannis is 5. Lamar Jackson is 6.
Yep.
Josh Allen 7. Judge 8. I do agree with. What just happened to my graphic? You got it up. Read the who's 8 and 9.
Let's see.
9 and 10. I said 8.
Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. He is 9, and
oh, there it is. Cal Rock. Okay.
Yep.
That was
weird. 10. I'm trying to pull it up here.
So I don't have a problem with. I mean, do you think in basketball, if you take Shea off OKC, that's big.
That's huge. Shea off of OKC is that's not even close to the same team.
Right. What about Giannis off the Bucks?
Not even close to the same team.
But which team do you think would be more affected by missing that guy?
Milwaukee.
Really?
Yeah, I think Milwaukee will miss Giannis more than OKC miss Shea because OKC has more weapons. OKC will be able to sustain for a while without Shea. Giannis gets off the court in Milwaukee, they're a dumpster team. So
that's interesting. I would not.
No, but I agree with you with Shohei because if you look at the World Series, right, he really had 2 good games. They went 7. You know, he really only. I mean, outside, you know, he played the one game. He went 3 for 3, and 8 strikeouts or something like that. That was a huge game, right? And then you look at all the other games in the World Series, he really wasn't a huge impact.
Yeah.
You know, I think him being at the plate is an advantage for the Dodgers, right? But if he was to say the game he pitched, right, and then he come back and he don't play 2 games, I still say they win that series 4-3. I thought they were going to win in 6, but they won in 7. So well, I think baseball is a little different than any other sport because if you're on, you're on, you know?
Yeah, I look at it this way. If you took Shohei off the Dodgers, I think they still make the playoffs. Maybe they don't win the World Series, but they still make the playoffs. If you take Aaron Judge off the Yankees, they don't make the playoffs. So how is he not higher than Ohtani? And
I feel like we're pulling hairs. I mean, both of them won MVP this year. You know, so I feel like we're pulling hairs with the order.
It'd be different if they were like 1 and 3, but they're 1 and 8.
And this is another argument for Shohei. The Dodgers have 2 individuals on this list.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman's 23.
Right, so he can't be right. That's my point.
You see?
Like
So
who is the second best Yankee? That's my point right there. That's my point right there.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
So that's
I
interesting
don't
to
like the
me.
Yankees, one, and two, they didn't go far enough in the playoffs for me to pay attention to them. So
Yeah. Like to me, the baseball ones on here are trash. And I say that now, Cal Raleigh off the Mariners, that is probably to me number one because he was such a run producer.
okay.
Like him and Judge are to me by far because they accounted for so many more runs than the average player that you took them off of those teams, they'd be trash. If you took
I know
Shohei off the team, they
if you were
still have
talking
Freddie
about the
Freeman.
Dodgers last year, I would have a different kind of stance because I mean Shohei had 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases last year. You know what I mean? So I look at him a little different last year than I look at him this year. I feel he had more of an impact last year. Um, but I mean, even with that, like I said, you're still pulling hairs. I believe he's one of the most valuable players to his team. Number one, that's kind of tough.
For sure.
Number one, that's kind of tough.
I'll tell you who. So if we switch gears from baseball to football, I don't necessarily have a problem with Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. We've seen what happens with Lamar Jackson, so
yep.
I don't have a problem with that. And I don't have a problem with Josh Allen. When we get down to row 3 and Joe Burrow,
yeah.
But outside of Joe Burrow going to the Super Bowl one season, it isn't like when he's there, they're a perennial Super Bowl threat. I just don't see that.
I mean, they missed the playoffs. I mean, he's been in the league what 4 years now, 5 years.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, something like that. 4 or 5 years. He's missed the playoffs. What 3 of them?
Yeah.
You know, he's been injured. You know, so I believe Jamar Chase is more valuable to the Bengals than Joe Burrow is.
I agree.
You know, I actually and he's down at 26.
I think Drake May is more valuable to the Patriots.
I would agree.
Than all the quarterbacks on this list besides the first 3. Like Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert at 17, I'm sorry, but Justin Herbert, and I also look at it like this. If you lost that player, like they retired for whatever reason, it would be hard to replace Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's that hard. There's several other guys that could replace Justin Herbert.
I think that's disrespectful to Matthew Stafford. You know, they have Joe Burrow and Justice Herbert higher than Matthew Stafford. They have him higher than Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is definitely more valuable to the Colts than I believe than Joe Burrow and Justice Herbert. Herbert. When Joe Burrow was playing, they were still losing.
Yeah, I would argue that Jaden Daniels is probably at least should be the 4th quarterback on this list, if not Drake May.
Yeah,
one of those two.
I will put Matthew Stafford 4, and then you figure out where you want Jaden Daniels and Drake May.
Yeah, I think I don't only because. Especially Drake May, and arguably maybe Drake May should be even higher because, like, I mean, Matt Stafford's got some weapons. Burrow's got a ton of weapons. So that's why I mean, Joe Flacco came in there and put up numbers with those guys.
Yep.
And I feel like that could be the same with several guys could do what Matt Stafford does.
No, absolutely.
But you know who's not on this list, and it's mind-boggling to me?
Jalen Hurts? Oh.
No, absolutely not.
I thought that's where you were going.
I'm sorry, everybody. We'll edit that out.
Who's that? Who's that?
How is Baker Mayfield not on this list?
Yo, that is yes, I agree. I think you dropped Joe Burrow and you put Baker Mayfield on this list.
How is Baker Mayfield not on this list? You talk about that guy. And I don't think he's the greatest quarterback in the league. That guy is the heart and soul of that team.
Speaking of Baker Mayfield being on the list, how isn't Steph Curry and Victor Wembanyama higher?
Well, I think if this list was 3 or 4 years older, I think Steph Curry would be probably top 5 or 6.
But at his age,
yes. If it was 3 or 4 years ago, I think Steph Curry would probably be top 5 or 6. But
Okay.
now he's aged. I mean, the Golden State is kind of what they are now.
You saying because they're not a perennial?
I mean, I think you could argue that they were a mini dynasty or a dynasty. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
for
absolutely.
what that's worth. I don't think, I think there for a 5, 6, 7 year period, the Golden State struck fear into teams.
I completely agree.
They could hurt you in many different ways, and I just don't feel like
Absolutely.
they're that team. I think Draymond Green's a sideshow now, and I don't know. I feel bad for Curry. I mean, he's not going to leave there, but it'd be nice to like slide him over to Dallas or somewhere, man. They'd be. Whew. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, that would.
And Wemby, like my
Yeah.
problem with Wemby on this list is you haven't done anything yet to. And I love Wemby. He's our local. I mean, that's the Spurs. We're here in San Antonio, but he hasn't. Like, yeah, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's great, but I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I think you'll see
Better than
Wemby's
what?
impact because I think he's out 4 weeks. You'll see his impact over these next 4 weeks because I don't think the Spurs will win many games while he's out.
But I'm saying, like, this is the 30 most valuable across all 4 leagues. I
Yeah,
think
no, I
Wemby
agree.
can't be on this list for 2 or 3 years.
Do you think Luka should be on this list?
No. Because what are the Lakers right now? And what were the Lakers last year?
Yeah.
And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one where that's a brand bias thing to me. Like, hey, we got to figure out how to get a Laker on here.
They have a winning record. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't
Yeah, like there's some on here, like Myles Garrett. I don't have a problem with Myles Garrett being on here because if Myles Garrett wasn't on that defense,
yeah.
they'd be giving up 40 a game.
Hey, shout out to Myles Garrett. I have the Cleveland defense this weekend against the Raiders, and I'm thinking about, maybe getting about 14, 15 points from that defense. So, hey, Myles, do your thing, buddy. I'm rooting for you.
Dang.
Yeah.
Another
I need you to
plug.
go ahead and blow that up so I can take that lead even bigger on Jason because he definitely picked the Raiders.
Slow down. We're going to edit that out too. All right. So I wanted to show you this, one, to talk about that, but this leads me to my final question about this.
Okay.
This is the 30 most valuable players to their team kind of right now. Let's go, because we're mainly, I don't know, what 2 sports are your favorite? If you had to pick 2.
College basketball and NFL.
Well, I'm saying, so basketball and football.
Yes.
Okay. So if you had to pick a most valuable player to their franchise as a whole, like, hey, you take this one guy off of this franchise and they're nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your basketball guy, which I think I know, and who's your football guy?
Michael Jordan, Tom Brady.
Ooh, I gotta be honest with you. I think Tom Brady slipped my brain. Definitely Jordan. That's mine. That's for basketball. It's no question. Tom Brady's an interesting one. I actually feel like, oh damn, you're gonna make me think because I kind of was locked in on one, and that's true because it wasn't like I mean,
Patriots had 0 Super Bowls before Tom Brady. They
But they had played in Super Bowls.
Yeah, but I mean, the Bills played in Super Bowls.
Well,
So
but those teams were loaded. How they didn't win is
exactly. So up until Tom Brady is just the same thing with Michael Jordan. Until Michael Jordan got in a Bulls uniform, they never won a championship before then. Until Tom Brady got in the Patriots uniform, Tom Brady by himself has more Super Bowl rings than any franchise.
That's hard to argue. That is not where I was going, but now that you have said that, and I don't know how Tom Brady slipped my brain, but that's a fantastic answer that I got nothing for that. I got no argument.
I stumped them, people.
That's pretty good. Well, I'm going to tell you where I was going.
Where were you going with it?
And I kind of had 2. And which, now that you've said it like that, it makes me rethink those.
Okay.
One was Drew Brees. Because you take Drew Brees off the Saints.
Yeah, they don't have a chip.
and I don't know that the Saints ever sniff anything.
Yep, I agree.
That being said, they've had some good players there, but Drew Brees, I mean, that to me was a big one. But it certainly doesn't amount to what Tom Brady did. And you could argue that, like nobody at any point thinks Sean Payton is one of the greatest coaches of all time. People
No,
might think he's a good coach, but
yeah, good,
whereas
not great.
Brady had Belichick, who a lot of people thought he was the greatest defensive mind before, his when he was a coordinator on those Giants teams.
I
It
always
wasn't
thought
like,
Buddy Ryan was the greatest defensive
well,
coordinator of
and
all
a lot
time,
of
but
people would
you know,
a lot of
I,
people would
I,
certainly
I,
argue that.
I have heard that argument.
Um, but like I kind of look at that like, yeah, I mean, but Tom Brady, played for one of the greatest, if not the greatest, NFL coaches of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He played for a franchise that wasn't afraid to make moves.
Mm-hmm.
What did Drew Brees have? Sean Payton, they made some moves, but some of those moves were trading away some of the best players they had. Jimmy Graham, they ruined possibly one of the greatest tight ends of the last 30 years. So that's why uh, Drew Brees was my one. My second one was, even though, and I know what people are going to say, this team won before this guy, but you take Dan Marino off those 80s Dolphins teams, they're a middle of the road team.
Well,
They kind of were. They
I,
kind of were
yeah, they
some
kind
seasons
of,
anyway.
yeah. I would argue more. When you say 80s teams, I will argue more for Joe Montana on the 49ers than Dan Marino because they actually won. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Or
Steve, but you could
if
say
you
that
don't
about
want to,
Steve Young.
then you just say Jerry Rice then,
Yeah, but
right?
see, I think as great
So
as I think Jerry Rice was, I think they still win without Jerry.
you think so?
Yeah, because they had defense. Those teams were. I mean,
Man,
Jerry was. Don't
Jerry
get me
opened
wrong,
up so much for the offense because
Jerry's
I mean
great, but
he was fast, he had hands, and he could. I know we talk about it now. Yak, he was doing Yak before Yak was a stat.
for sure.
You know, but Montana and Young both had Rice, and he made both of them look great.
I
Uh,
just think like in those cases, because that's like tell who was Drew Brees' greatest defense. Tom Brady
yeah,
had defenses.
yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Montana had defenses.
yeah.
Like that's
But
a
well, when
huge
you
that's a
say that,
huge part.
I mean, New England head coach was a defensive coordinator, so he's going to build his defense. You
All the
know,
more reason.
Sean Payton was an offensive guy. That's why he was trying to build the offense. That's why they scored almost 40 points a game the season they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
Which
I get it.
that's
The coach is going to build whatever their specialty is. Um, and that's what won Tom those first three Super Bowls.
without a doubt.
But I mean, he still had to steer the ship. I understand what you're saying with Dan because Dan is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You give Dan Marino a ring, it's Brady, then probably Dan. If you give him one ring, you know, but because he doesn't have that ring, he kind of falls down the
100%.
list a little bit. But he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But I think him not winning, and then for him to go as a rookie and then not go back,
Yeah,
I
it
think that
hurt.
hurts him as well. But the 80s, you had the Bears teams in the 80s, you had the Niners. Dallas wasn't, they had some good teams, but they weren't, Dallas really didn't kick off until the 90s. So I see what you're saying with Dan, but
Well,
um,
my argument's more for Drew Brees. I just feel like all things, everybody else you're saying, Joe Montana, those guys had another piece,
yeah, yeah,
multiple pieces, and a big one being a defense. And you can also argue that Joe Montana and Steve Young played for some of the
most
best.
innovative minds, offensive
Yeah. I
minds. Yeah,
mean, so, but yeah, so I think that's interesting. I mean, basketball to me, that's one's pretty. You take
it's cut
Jordan
dry.
off the Bulls,
Yeah, I mean, you took Jordan off the Bulls for 2 years,
right?
and you saw what happened. I
Yeah,
mean, they went to the playoffs, but because they still had a good team,
yeah,
but they didn't win anything.
no,
So,
yeah.
you know,
Jordan is the one. I tried to sit and think of a baseball one. Baseball is tougher, um, just because You know, like it to me, it really can't be a pitcher because they're only pitching every 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to
Oh,
think of
I have a baseball one, and it might be a bias because I really when it comes to baseball I have two teams, right? I'm a Phillies fan by birth, a Braves fan by choice, and it's kind of weird because they play each other. Yeah,
I didn't know
that
that.
yeah that's my grandma's fault.
That's
Mm.
kind of dirty, but okay.
Yeah. I usually don't say it out loud, but now it's out there.
I've
Yeah,
known you for over a year, and I did not know that.
yeah. You know, it's something that I deal with. You know, I
Okay.
go to therapy for it. But Chipper Jones is my guy. Chipper Jones, my guy.
Yeah, but I got a ton of argument for that one.
No,
Like,
I mean, and I'm pretty sure there's other guys on other teams if you pull them off, but Chipper was like he was the guy for the Braves for so long, and they built teams around him. But
yeah,
you know, you can
I'll
go
tell you
Barry
this.
Bonds, you can go. I mean,
I'll
there's
tell you this about
Mark
the Braves.
McGuire, Sammy Sosa.
With
There's
Greg
plenty of
Maddux
teams.
and Tom Glavine and John Smoltz and the other
Yeah,
threes and fours they had over the years,
understood.
I could have played third
But
base
like you just said,
on
you
that
can't
team.
go with a pitcher because a pitcher only plays through every
No,
3 4
but
days.
no, but that has to factor into
I
your
I
like
get it, you know,
I mean,
but that's just like we
you are
talking about
possibly
defenses for the NFL quarterbacks.
but you are
You
possibly talking about one of the greatest starting rotations in the history of baseball.
know,
Like
understood. But Chipper
so
was out there every day, and that's
I
my
love
guy.
Chipper. I love Larry.
Chipper's my guy.
Dude,
Out after Ken Griffey,
dude.
Chipper's too.
I'm a huge Larry Jones fan. Huge Larry Jones fan. Um, yeah, baseball for me is a little tougher. Um, because that's the thing too with baseball. It's very no team that's really ever won anything. Um, did it with one guy. Like baseball is just a different animal.
And it's like
Um,
that with every team sport. Nobody
yeah,
did it with one guy. You know what I mean? The quarterback can't do what they do if the offensive line don't give them time, or running
for
back
sure.
do what they do, unless you're Barry Sanders. And Barry Sanders did it without a quarterback and offensive line. So, I mean, you can make an argument for Barry, but Barry didn't win anything.
Yeah,
You know,
I do have a college basketball one. Now
okay.
it won't obviously cover their franchise because it's college, so they're only there. But you take Christian Leitner
Come on. Come on.
off
That's
those
right.
off those
That's
Duke
right.
teams,
That's right.
they don't
That's
win
right.
it. They don't win anything
That's right.
those
That's
3
right.
years.
And I would, I'm one of the hugest Duke fans walking this planet. I would say Christian Leitner and Grant Hill. And here's why. Christian Leitner was there 2 years before Grant got there. And they didn't, they made it to the tournament. They made it far. His sophomore year, they got smoked by 30 against UNLV. Freshman year, fell short again. Grant Hill stepped on campus, we win. Right?
That's
So
true.
I would say Christian and Grant 1A, 1B when it comes to Duke. But it would be Mike Krzyzewski for me with Duke.
Well, yeah, Coach K. I mean,
Yeah. It would be, but if you're talking players, it would
yeah,
be Leitner and Hill.
and I
In my
think it's
opinion,
just
they're the greatest Duke players of all time.
well, I mean Christian Leitner, even though his NBA career wasn't a whole lot to speak of, Christian Leitner is if anybody ever makes a list of the top 5 or 10 college basketball players, and Christian Leitner isn't in like the
You don't know
top
what
three,
you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not a Duke fan, and your list is trash.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at points scored, I mean, the dude is on every list.
Yeah,
And not just for Duke,
yeah,
for the NCAA. So, there's a
the guy
reason he was on the '92 Dream Team.
the guy was money in was absolute money
Yeah, it's a
in
reason he
college.
was on the '92 Dream Team. It's a reason that he's in the College Basketball Hall of Fame. If that '92 Dream Team was the year before when the pros weren't playing, Christian Leitner would have been the biggest star on that team, right? So his NBA career, and that's why Duke had a rap for a minute. They don't produce NBA players because of what happened with Christian. I mean, you got to remember, Christian went to the Wizards. The Wizards was like a recreation, Planet Fitness,
Right.
you know what I mean, LA
It,
Fitness basketball team
it was a
when he got,
YMCA team.
yeah, and he's coming in there expecting to change the whole thing around. It was like, bro, He don't got a point guard. I mean, in Duke, he had a point guard to set him up. You know, the coach was trash. So,
Well, I mean, they
he kind of
were.
took a bad rap.
It was literally upward basketball.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. He
it was
took a bad
churchly.
rap, and I believe he took more hate than he deserved. And granted, it was from the masses around the country because of what he just did at Duke, and I'm fine with that because I love me some Christian Laettner, and he goes down as one of my greatest Duke players of all time. No matter what we have with these one and dones, if I'm doing a starting five or starting 10, 12 man roster,
Yeah,
Laettner's on that roster.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's good stuff. I love that. That's some good. That's some good banter.
Yeah, man. Ooh,
All
now
right.
you got me thinking about college football, man.
Oh, I won't say I'm locked in, but I mean, let's. Oh, let me give you a little adjustment here, right there.
I think we know where we're going with that one.
Because again, if you're ever making a list of the top 5 or 10 college football players, and you don't have Chuck Woodson on your list, one, we can't be friends,
Uh huh.
and two, your list is stupid.
All right, so here's my question to you because one just came to my head. Tim Tebow.
Well, that's kind of tough, and don't get me wrong, because I think Tim Tebow was a fantastic college player, but that team had, I mean,
No,
one,
understood.
they had Urban Meyer.
Understood.
I mean, hell, they had what's his face probably before he was committing murders.
Pouncey. I mean, not Pouncey. Hernandez.
Yeah. Um, my,
I wasn't trying to do y'all
my
like that,
bad.
man.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I
Hernandez.
think now if we're just talking like one guy on one particular season, then I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you got to look at like Reggie Bush or Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I would go Johnny more than Reggie because Reggie was on
Yeah.
a loaded team.
Or here's one. How about Vince Young off that Texas team?
Yeah, they don't sift the national championship. That's a good one.
Still one of the
Cam
greatest.
Newton at Auburn.
Yes. Cam Newton at Auburn's another one.
Man.
AJ
Uh,
McCarthy on Michigan. No,
yeah. No, we're not doing that. We're not
I'm
doing that.
joking.
We're not going to do that to JJ.
I'm joking.
Yeah, man. Good
But
gracious.
Chuck Woodson, dude, Chuck Woodson, no man, the guy. I mean, he didn't do it at the clip that Tory, or that Tory. Wow, I was about to say Tory Hunter at Travis Hunter. He didn't quite do it at that clip, but the guy played both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
And he plays special
and he,
teams.
and he returned kicks. Like the guy
Yeah.
was absolute.
Yeah, no, he
fire.
definitely deserved the Heisman that year.
That's
Definitely deserved.
That's for you,
Definitely.
Chuck.
Definitely deserved the Heisman that year.
And I will die
Absolutely.
on that hill. I will.
No,
I
no,
will
no.
die.
I definitely can understand that one. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's something else to think about, man, because when you have guys like Johnny Manziel, he put Texas A&M on the map.
Yeah, I mean, that particular year. I mean, there's been a few of those guys. Like just everything comes together and they have monster seasons for whatever reason. But yeah, that's a big one that sticks out to me is like Johnny Manziel, Vince Young on that Texas team is.
Yeah,
that one's hard.
They played that USC team was a juggernaut, man.
That was such a good game. My God,
Oh, it was a great game.
game.
I've watched that game multiple times since it happened.
Uh-huh.
Man, I remember watching it live.
Yeah, me too.
I remember watching it live. I remember coming home from football practice and showered, ate dinner, and I had a TV in my bedroom, and it was like a little 18-inch TV, man. It wasn't nothing big, and I was sitting back, man, and I had an antenna, and because it was a regular TV then, man.
Yeah.
ABC. I had the antenna, man, and it was, oh my God, that game was so good, man.
That game was fire.
That was one of the best college games of all time, man. Hands down.
Absolutely.
Hands down. Well, guys,
right.
Look here. Thanks for spending time with us, man. Oh, what you got, buddy? Trivia.
Let's not jump off the train.
I try to get out of it.
Because
I try to get out of it.
I don't know if this one will be hard for you or not.
All right, let's see.
But we're going to keep it football.
Okay.
We're going to keep it NFL.
Okay.
And I am wondering if you know the year, that's a bonus. Do you know where the first NFL game was played?
So when we say NFL, are we talking after the merger?
No, like what is considered the first NFL game, professional football game? Do you know where it was played? The
Canton,
city?
Ohio.
No. Right state. Right state. Wrong city.
Well, what's the city?
It
Dayton.
is from where I'm from, which
Dayton, Ohio.
I'm from a
Ah,
suburb in 1920 at Triangle Park, which is still there.
okay.
The Dayton Triangles hosted the Columbus Panhandles at Triangle Park in October 3rd, 1920.
What was the final score?
14-0.
Blowout. Dayton.
Dayton wins.
Belt the booty, baby.
Yep, 14-10. I've been planning on working that in somewhere because I'm from Dayton, and it's kind of cool being,
Yeah.
that was where. You know what's crazy is I didn't know that until I was like 15 or 16.
That's crazy.
Yeah, didn't know that until I was at least 15.
That's good stuff. That's good
yeah.
stuff, man.
Dayton
All right, you got me on that
Triangles.
one. Dayton Triangles.
You'll never
the
forget.
dog crap out of the Columbus Panhandlers.
Beat them down. And the team, the Dayton Triangles team, this is an interesting, was comprised of employees from 3 Dayton factories.
That's right. Come on, keep it in the city.
The Dayton Engineering Laboratories Company, which is Delco, which is a big company. The Dayton Metal Products Company.
Okay.
And the Domestic Engineering Company, which is now called Delco Light.
That's what I'm talking about. Blue collar workers
There it is.
putting belt to booty. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Clocking out, and
That's right.
beating ass.
Come on. That's right. That's right. I love it.
Clapping cheeks.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it is.
All right, brother.
Hey, man, if you guys like the content, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you in the next one.
Deuces.